for the wonderful talk. Now I request Dr. Anup sir for his talk on avoiding the money mistakes, what every doctor should know by Decade. So Anup sir has been heading the iVision Hospital. Let's see how his journey was and how he's going to help us.
Thank you, Samira. So actually, the problem with us doctors is that we are never exposed to this aspect, this finance management or the economic side of things. So all these terminologies are really very, we feel averse to all that because we have always been students of science and we have never been exposed to this part of so financial planning is essential and it is important in each decade of life. It is different. So why it is important is already Samira has said you should plan for emergencies. It helps you realize your goals and it may helps you make the most out of your money. So when you think of financial planning, these are all the things that come along with it, and budgeting, investment, insurance, tax planning, debt management. But all these things are not very simple for us, and we should accept that because we are, like I said in the beginning, we have never been exposed to that. So best thing is that we hire experts. There are people who do this for a living, so they will actually give us advice on how we should do all our investment, do our budgeting, about our taxes, everything. So what is different in doctors is that the income may be irregular, especially those who are in private practice. There can be a substantial education loan, especially for PG if you are taking loan, which you have to probably give the EMIs for that. Your MBBS, maybe your parents may support you for that. Our earnings are delayed. Then we start really earning only after 30 years of age. We are so busy in our work, so focused in our work, the emergencies, and in the end of the day, we are so exhausted that we really don't have much time to think of all these things. Positive thing is we don't have a retirement age. So in third decade, that is from 20 to 30 years of life, by the time we finish our MBBS, it would be around 24. Your PG will be around 28. And by the time you finish your fellowship, you will be around 30 years. That is if you get everything on time. If there are waiting time in between, it will go further than that. The only income that you can expect during this time is your stipend, which would be around 50 to 60,000 per month. So what are the goals in this period? The goals of a doctor generally are, one is marriage. Fortunately, our parents bear that expense for us in India. We don't have to spend. Then vehicle, house. Most of us would live in a rented house, the advance for that. What we can start doing is we can start planning for a house by the end of the third decade. And if you are planning to start a practice, then you should start planning for the practice by this time. Health expenses could be like a birth of a child, or the other way, infertility also can be a big expense nowadays. Mistakes that we do in the third decade, we are totally focused, like Arjuna is focused on the eye of the fish. We are totally focused on education to increase our surgical skills. So we don't think of anything else. We just want to get this period over with, and then we think we'll start earning after that. It's more of a hand-to-mouth existence. But then, as Dr. Biju said, even at this point, when you're earning only 50,000 per month, even if a little bit if you put in SIP at this point of time, when you're 25 years of age, so that by the time you are 40, 45, that would have become a huge corpus. Then buying a car, I remember when I joined as a consultant in Perindalmanna, we had the kinetic Honda scooter. So I used to go in that. Even the security used to look at me, because it is automatically expected that a doctor should have a car. And that is like a trap, what Samira rightly said. We are unnecessarily forced to spend on things even if you are not interested in that. I was not really interested because I was planning to start my practice. I wanted to build up funds for that. Car was not at all a priority because we were only two of us. And besides two-wheeler, it's much more intimate when you are a couple. Is it not? Rather than a car. But then you had to buy because otherwise they would have sent me off, even the management. And not joining IMA schemes. Whenever I interview the young doctors, this is the first thing I ask them, are you a member of IMA? 90% of them, they are not member of IMA. They think that they only need KSOS and they only need AIOS. That membership everybody has. But nobody is bothered about IMA and its schemes. All these schemes are extremely important, PPS scheme, health scheme, and all of them are, the cost is minimal. Only with a little bit of money, actually, you will be covered in everything that you want. That is your health, your professional indemnity, your social security, and not starting SIPs, again, like I said, and not having an emergency fund. Fourth decade, your incomes are better. If a fresh MS graduate can expect in the private sector between 12 to 15 lakhs per year. With experience, it would be up to 25. A specialist, that is post fellowship, it could be between 20 to 30. Specialist with experience. So your incomes are definitely more in the fourth decade. So this is when your goals also will be bigger. You want your own house, children's education. You have to start thinking about their professional education, or starting or expanding your practice. Leisure, that is also should be one of your goals, because this is the time when you have the money and the health to travel. The health of your parents, because I have seen that whenever many doctors, when they come with their parents to get their parents operated, majority of the parents are not covered by insurance, because probably that point of time people didn't think that as a priority. So it's all out of the pocket expenses, and which is a huge expense, because as you grow older, there could be like malignancies, major health issues in older people, and planning for retirement. So mistakes, again, buying a big car, the fourth decade, constructing a very big house, which is a weakness for all of us Malayalis. We want to have a very big house. What I've seen, I have worked in North also. I worked in Maharashtra and other places. There, people don't buy a big house, or they spend on business. I mean, a very big industrialist will be just be staying in a small little flat, but the guy will be having almost crores in business, because they have avenues to invest there. Here we don't have. We don't have much of the businesses here, because the only way we can invest is real estate, or now SIPs are there. So we try to invest on big cars, big houses. All of them are like dead investments. They are all liabilities actually. And inadequate tax planning. Coming to fifth decade, here again your income is good, but then your goals, like your child's higher education, professional education, children's marriage will come. Then your health insurance should be adequate. We would like to have more amount invested in SIPs, and then we have to start your retirement planning by this time. Mistakes here is not having liquid funds, that we invest too much into real estate, and then you are not, whenever you need some funds suddenly, they would not be, you won't have liquidity. So there should be some, like Dr. Biju said, either the funds where the liquid funds, or even in gold or something like that, which you can very easily encash. Investing too much in real estate, most of us do that because there is hardly any other avenue to invest. Inadequate health insurance, we have to top up our health insurance, because initially we may have 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, we have to top up. Making big investments at this point of time without proper planning, and not reviewing your financial plan. It is also has to be reviewed periodically. Just because you have made one financial plan doesn't mean that will work throughout your life. And then for completion's sake, sixth decade, because there is something even I don't know. So maybe those who have reached that may be able to better tell. But I think you should have start planning your retirement, and you should have adequate health insurance, and you should do estate planning. Estate planning is that where you have to write all your nominations for all your investments, and you have to make a will, because you don't know when, because these things are important actually, because you have to think about that also. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anup, sir, for that